Well, welcome everybody to Wednesday night Bible study. I'm happy you guys are here. Like Pastor Donnie mentioned, being able to come up here is an honor, and I don't take it lightly. I got to speak up for the first time on April 1st, which is my birthday, and I had plenty of time to study for that because I chose the date, and now I'm up here for the third time, so it's pretty cool. I think it's just one of those things where got to start and then just kind of rolling very fast. And it's definitely a lot different than the men's breakfasts. I had plenty of practice with the men's breakfasts, speaking there, but it was a little bit different as far as everybody was interactive. Everybody kind of spoke, and this is a little bit more of a study, more study than I have to do, as well as just the time frame. The men's breakfast was like an easy 15 minutes. And before I know it, everyone kind of got in. There was 3 pastors there. They started talking, and I didn't really have to do too much. But I'm up here all by myself, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, we're definitely reading Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life, with Pastor Bob has handed these out. Everybody have one? Yeah? Is everybody up to date on reading it? No? Good. I'm not either.
Not.
We're gonna read it together tonight, guys. That's what we're doing. Yeah, we're gonna read it tonight. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't really read it Sunday or Monday. Yesterday I caught up, and then yesterday I read for today, and today is the study that we're going to be going over. So it's on chapter 36. I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into the study for tonight. And the chapter is titled "Made to Last Forever." So it's made to last forever. And I'm just going to go ahead and start reading the first couple paragraphs in the book. This life is not all there is. Life on earth is just a dress rehearsal before the real production. You will spend far more time on the other side of death, in eternity, than you will here. Earth is the staging area, the preschool, the tryout for your life in eternity. It is a practice workout before the actual game, the warm-up lap before the race begins, and this life is preparation for the next. At most, you will live 100 years on earth, but you will spend forever in eternity. Your time on earth is, as Sir Thomas Browne said, but a small parenthesis in eternity. You were made to last forever. So that kind of just gives the essence as far as what this chapter is about. Really, this chapter is talking about focusing on heaven, realizing that there's going to be more than what's in front of us here today, the future. I think it's definitely kind of a scary thing to talk about or to think about, which is not being here forever, not being here someday. Unfortunately, that's just a reality. I remember a long time ago when I first started working, somebody said there's only 2 guarantees in life. That's death and taxes. And as you get older, it's like, man, I don't want to pay taxes anymore. It takes so much away. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, so we have to look forward to heaven. I think that's something that as Christians, as believers, that's something we should be excited about. That's something that we should think about. I know for me, when I first think about it, or anytime I think about heaven or death, it's usually because I've gone to a funeral. It's usually because somebody's sick. And that's usually when I think about it, or I get reminded of it. And in this chapter, it kind of talks about that's not the right way of thinking about heaven. That's not how we should come about to it. It should be something that should be on the forefront of us. And when we have it in front of us, I think it should be both heaven and also God and also Jesus. So, as this first paragraph states, we're here on this earth for a short period of time, and I believe that we are here on earth for a purpose. It's definitely not by accident. I think Pastor Bob had mentioned that this Sunday. You know, you're not an accident. Unfortunately, I was an accident. So I don't know if I shared this with everybody yet. Have I shared it? No? So I definitely was an accident. The way my parents found out, my mom found out she was pregnant with me, she was at the hospital to get her tubes tied. And back then, you'd go to the hospital the night before, she said, and they'd give you a pregnancy test. So they woke her up early the next morning, and they said, we can't do the operation, we can't do the procedure. And she said, why not? They said, you're pregnant. And she's like, what? So, I don't know, I still think I'm an accident for sure. But
a beautiful one.
Yeah. April Fool. I was born on April Fool's, yeah. So, I actually like the story now that I'm older. It's kind of funny, you know, but there's more I want to say to that, but we're here at church, so I won't continue on with that. But I think we have to ask ourselves, which is kind of what this book asks, and it's at the front of the book. It says, what on earth am I here for? So I think that's kind of the essence of this book, of this reading. Each devotional, each chapter is going to build on that. It's going to progress. It's going to progress on that, which is good. I think that's one thing as people, as Christians, that we need to focus on is progression. That's something I think I mentioned in my last study that I was up here, is we have to progress. We have to get better. We can't be stagnant, and we always got to be moving on forward. And with that being said, you have to ask yourself a few questions. One is, am I using my time wisely? Am I doing what I should be doing? And what does God want me to do? Getting ready for this study, I didn't use my time wisely. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sunday, where it was UFC fights, I definitely watched the UFC fights on Sunday night. And Monday night, we celebrated Matthew Nico's birthday, and so we had dinner and you know, kind of hung out. But yesterday, I did put in the time, I did put in the effort. I even asked Lysandra to help me, which I normally don't, because she tells me what to say, and then she gets mad because I don't say it. But she's the woman God gave me, so I just gotta deal with it. And no, but I did put in the time. I did stay up a little bit late last night, and I even woke up early this morning. And I put in some more time during my lunch. You know, I took a short lunch or ate really quick, and then got back to the study. I think those are just a few questions we got to ask ourselves. Of course, when we're in prayer, those are definitely those questions we got to be talking to God about. Of course, also thinking of heaven, like I said, I feel it's interchangeable with God. We got to ask ourselves, what is our relationship with God? We all have the opportunity to have a relationship with God, and we all have that choice to make on how deep our relationship is with Him, and we can build on that. If we don't have a relationship with Him, we can start today, and if we do, we can continue to build on it, on what it is. And we build on it by talking to Him and reading our Bibles. A little further down in this chapter, the book, it gives a Bible verse, which is 2 Corinthians 5:1. And it says, "For we know that our earthly house, this tent, is destroyed. We have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in heaven." And so, again, that's just stating how our body here on earth is just a tent. It's not made to last forever. We're just going to be here for a short period of time, but we're going to have a house in heaven where it's going to be even better. Kind of like this chapter says, eternity is a long time, and here on earth is a short, small period of time. It's very temporary, and we have to focus on on that future. We can't just focus on what's right in front of us. Focus for what's for today. I know I do that. That's definitely one thing I would say that I need to work on myself. Sorry. We have to have a longing for a longing for longevity. It talks about it in here how God has wired us for longevity, to wanna live forever. I kind of think back to Adam and Eve, and how Adam, before he sinned, how he used to walk in the evenings with God, how they had that close relationship, how they were together. Unfortunately, with that sin, it separated us. It created the death. It created that separation between us and God. So we do have that inside of us to want to live forever. But that forever is going to just be in the afterlife, and it starts with a relationship with God. I think a lot of us, of course I do, we focus on what's here on earth, the earthly things. I think a lot of us, we focus on our bodies, our skin, our hair, and really we need to focus on the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's really what we got to focus on, those things. I wrote down here, watching the channel E. E stands for entertainment, but that's what they're about. They're about the gossip of the relationship of celebrities and what they're doing and who's with who. And I think we all get caught up with that, with those earthly things. We all get caught up with, again, the gossip or the cheeseman, as you would say. And continue on with that. I feel that a lot of times when you look at the earthly things, especially nowadays, everyone wants is instant. Everyone wants is just for now, without putting in that real effort, or that real time, that discipline. I think really a lot of what we have to learn and do is the discipline and the work, the hard work, and that goes with everything that we do, not just not just any one particular thing, but everything that we do. Everything should have discipline in it. At home, at work, with our kids, here at church, we need to have discipline as well. Another verse I wanted to read was Colossians 3:18, and it says, "Wives, submit to your husbands as fitting to those belonging to the Lord." Oh, how did that get in there? What the heck? I'm sorry, guys. Oh man, this is so weird. Yeah, that's another Bible study I was preparing for Lysandra, but I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. It is actually Colossians 3:23-24. When I looked up that Bible verse, I saw it right above it. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to throw it in there. Yeah, I pictured that this look she's giving right now is exactly what I was going to get. I'm going to be in heaven a lot sooner than I planned to be, guys, but that's what it's about. Colossians 3:23-24. Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you are serving is Christ. I think that's a great Bible verse for what we're talking about, as far as working hard for God, thinking about heaven first, God first, and when we're doing that, He's going to have our reward when we die, when we go to heaven. He's going to have our reward when we get there. And we have to always remember that, remember Christ. In the difficult times, because we're believers, we have the Holy Spirit to guide us and to lead us. One of the things that we always pray for when we go to sleep, me and Lysandra go into Emery's room and pray for her, pray with her, and one of the things we always pray for is for God to help us to live our lives according to His will. According to His will, not our will. It's very easy as people, selfish people of the earth, to want to live our will, for our wants, not even just our needs, but for our wants. But what does God want? What is His will for us? And that could be a difference. That could be two different things, and hopefully not. Hopefully we're getting to the point we're working on that our will is His will and His will is our will. I think as we get closer to God and we build in our relationship, that is basically what happens. Me being up here is not something I would have ever done 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they asked me to give announcements, and I was like, sure. And I was like, I'm not doing that ever again. I am not giving announcements, which is crazy, like giving announcements. And I was like, yeah, it's a piece of cake. I mean, Pastor Donnie just did it right now. I could definitely do it. I'm joking. But no, seriously, I this is something I've definitely worked up to. I've definitely built myself up into getting at this point. And again, when we work, we have to work for God, put Him first. Definitely not our needs. As I've gotten more mature in as a Christian, I don't know, this sounds the wrong way, but I kind of realize how selfish I am as a person. I'm a very selfish person. I kind of grew up as an only child because my siblings were a lot older than me. It was just me, my mom and dad. So I kind of grew up as an only child. And I kind of just got whatever I wanted. I got to do whatever I wanted. Not that I was spoiled, but they didn't really have to look at other children as far as what were their wants and needs. I kind of got free reign of the house in a sense. But that's something we have to remember, is to be less selfish, thinking about God first and His will. And then also, again, putting in the work that we have to, we have in front of us, whatever it is God has for us. And just in general, I think, again, everyone in this society is about now. The now, we have our phones where we can pick up our phones and we can ask Google or Siri, what does this mean? Give me the answer to X, Y, and Z. Now there's ChatGPT, where just all the information is available at our fingertips. So I'd seen a post on social media not too long ago, and it was a guy who, he likes to work out, and he does like kind of workout videos and stuff, and he posted pictures of himself from the last 7 years, and you see him, you think he's always been fit, he's always been in great shape, but 7 years ago he wasn't in great shape. 7 years ago was his starting point. He definitely needed to lose weight, he definitely needed to gain muscle, and that's what it was about. His post was people see who I am now, and people see who I am today, but they don't realize the work that I've done to get to this point. They don't realize the sacrifices and the hard work that I put in. Want to keep it in line with that, the meal prepping, the waking up early, going to the gym. A lot of that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and that's something that a lot of people forget about, is how much time and effort things take, and getting to that point. And we have to remember to sacrifice today for the future. And that includes sacrificing the things that we want to do, sacrificing the earthly wants so we can look at heaven. We can keep God in front of us, and we always have to remember to put in that time and that effort, especially when it comes to our relationship with God. I think when it comes to this subject with heaven, I'm sure we all think about it. I know I do, which is Is it too late? What if it is too late? You know, what if there is no tomorrow? Do we make the best out of our opportunities today? You know, and if not, what's distracting you? What's causing you not to make the best out of your opportunities today? Out of what God has given you, your talents, and what gifts He's given you. And so those are things that we have to focus on when we live our life. Those are things at work, at home, with their kids. And when it comes to things that are maybe holding you back or distracting you, you can also say, is there a sin in your life that's holding you back? You know, one question I wrote down is, how much do you drink? Is it too much? That's a real question. And are you looking more forward to Saturday night having fun than you are on Sunday morning worshiping? How do you talk? How do you come across to people? You know, are there F-bombs coming out of your mouth? And are you a different person around your school friends, your work friends, than you are your church friends? We need to work on being Christ-like all the time. Think of God first. And I really think that's kind of the essence of thinking of God first when it comes to thinking of heaven. Another Bible verse I wrote down, I'm in trouble, guys.
Yeah, you are.
Somebody call me, look for me tomorrow. Wasn't an accident. But just a couple more questions would be, what is important to you? You know, what is important to you? What's in front of you that takes up your time, takes up your effort? Is it things that you know you should be doing, or things you should be working on? Those are real questions. These are questions I have for myself as well. You know, even like I said earlier, as far as the time it took me to study for tonight, realistically, I should have studied a lot more. You know, being up here in front of you guys and given this opportunity. I will be honest with saying that. But I'm going to read Matthew 6:19, and it says, "Don't store up treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be." So with these questions, you'd also have to ask, according to these verses, is what are your treasures and where is your heart? I'm almost done. At the end of this chapter, it does talk about a few things. If you guys have been reading at the end of the chapter, it kind of gives a few items and a few things to think about, a Bible verse, and a question to consider. And so the point to ponder says, there is more to life than just here and now. The Bible verse to remember says, this world is fading away along with everything it craves. But if you do the will of God, you will live forever. And that's 1 John 2:17. And the question to consider says, since I was made to last forever, what is the one thing I should stop doing and the one thing I should start doing today? And that's definitely a really good question. I do want to pray for you guys right now before I finish up here. One more thing I want to say is, if you have a relationship with God, you don't have to fear death. So that's something to remember when it comes to heaven. Again, today is not too late to start your relationship, and today is not too late to build on your relationship with God. Make the best of it out of every opportunity each day that He gives us.